All right, let's talk about the most confusing, the most intimidating part of any chess game, the middle game. Today, we're going to build a powerful toolkit that's going to help you find a winning plan, even when the path forward seems, well, completely impossible.
So picture this. You've done everything by the book. You followed the opening principles, you developed your pieces, you castled your king, and then it hits you. Just this wall of confusion. You're looking at the board, it's your move, and you have absolutely no idea what to do next. If you've ever felt that, trust me, you are not alone. This is the exact moment where most games are won and lost.
But don't you worry, because today we have a map. We're going to start by really defining this middle game maze. Then we'll unlock the incredible power of what are called forcing moves. After that, we'll learn how to upgrade your army, how to literally reshape the board with your pawns, and finally, master the art of the trade. By the end of this, you're going to have a clear step-by-step process for every single move you make.
So what is the middle game, really? Well, it's that critical point when all the opening theory just stops. The book is closed. You are officially on your own. And this, my friends, is where the real battle of ideas begins. It's a pure test of strategy, of tactics, and of your ability to forge a plan right out of thin air.
You know, the word plan sounds so complicated, right? But it's really not. It's just a process to make your position a little bit better than it was a move ago. Your goal isn't to find some 10-move brilliant checkmating sequence. Nope. It's just to make small, consistent improvements that slowly build pressure and eventually lead to a win.
Okay, this brings us to the most powerful tool in your entire toolkit. Seriously, when you feel stuck, when you have no idea what to do, the very first thing you must look for are forcing moves. Getting this one concept down is going to fundamentally change how you play chess.
Forcing moves are exactly what they sound like. They force your opponent to react in a very specific, very predictable way. By taking away all their options and limiting them to just one or two good responses, you get to seize control of the game. And the best part? It makes your own calculations so much simpler.
This right here, this needs to become your automatic mental checklist on every single turn. First things first, are there any checks? No? Okay, move on. Then you ask, are there any captures? Still no? All right. Finally, are there any direct threats I can make? This simple little hierarchy will consistently point you toward the strongest tactical ideas on the board.
So what happens when there aren't any good checks, captures, or threats? Do you just make a random move and hope for the best? Absolutely not. Your next step is to look at the pieces you already have on the board and figure out how to make them better. Just ask yourself this one simple question. Look at your army. Which piece is just sitting there? You know, doing nothing. Which one is kind of sleeping in the corner, not really contributing to the fight? That piece, whatever it is your least active piece, and it is the #1 candidate for your next move.
And the difference in power between an inactive piece and an active one is it's staggering. Inactive pieces are practically useless, but active ones, they control key squares, they put pressure on your opponent, they create all sorts of opportunities. Your job is simple. Turn every sleeping piece into an active, dangerous attacker.
And here are 3 awesome, concrete ways to do just that. You can create what's called a knight outpost, a super strong square deep in their territory where your knight just can't be kicked away by a pawn. Or you could form a battery, lining up your rooks or your queen and bishop to create some immense pressure. Or you can use a rook lift to swing a rook from the back rank right up into the attack.
So far, we've mostly been talking about pieces, but the true soul of chess strategy, that lies with the pawns. Pawn moves literally shape the entire game. They decide which pieces are going to be strong and where the attacks are going to happen.
There are 3 key pawn strategies you should always keep in mind. You can go for a pawn break in the center to rip open files for your rooks. You can launch a pawn storm to just overwhelm the enemy king's defenses. Or maybe you close the center down to stop their counterplay while you're busy building up an attack on the side of the board.
Oh, and here's a fantastic pro-level tip. If you trade off your light-squared bishop, from now on, your goal should be to place your pawns on, you guessed it, light squares. Why? Because now your pawns are controlling all the squares your other bishop can't see, and they completely immobilize your opponent's light-squared bishop. It becomes this useless piece, trapped behind its own wall of pawns. This is how you create that classic good knight versus bad bishop imbalance. It's beautiful.
All right, this brings us to the final piece of our puzzle, exchanges.
You've got to understand not all trades are good trades. Knowing when to trade, and maybe more importantly, what to trade, is a real hallmark of a strong player.
I want you to remember this little rhyme. Take is a mistake. Automatically recapturing a piece is one of the most common beginner mistakes. So often, taking back just helps your opponent. It helps them develop their pieces, or it fixes their bad pawn structure. You have to always pause and think before you recapture.
So what makes a trade a good trade? It's simple, really. You want to trade your passive, crummy pieces for their active, scary ones. You want to eliminate a key piece that's defending their king. On the flip side, you want to avoid trading your best attacker for their worst defender. And you never, ever make a trade that fixes their pawn weaknesses or opens up a brand new line of attack right at you.
You know, we started this whole thing in a moment of pure confusion, right? And now, look at this. We've built a complete framework for finding the right move every time. So, let's put it all together.
This is it. This is your plan. On every single move, you just run down this list. Number 1, look for checks, captures, and threats. If there aren't any, move on. Number 2, find your worst piece and make it better. Number 3, see if a pawn move can improve your position. And finally, number 4, look for a trade that helps you more than it helps them. This is how you go from confusion to clarity.
So you no longer have to feel lost after the opening. You have a system, you have a checklist, and you have a whole set of powerful strategic ideas. You've got the tools now to navigate that middle game maze and find the winning path. The only question left is, what are you going to do with them?